All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Pastrami Nation podcast. It's been a while, but we are back. We are here, and we're happy to be here. I'm Kevin. Joining me today, Eli. What's going on?
Hello there.
Hi. So, co-founder of Pastrami Nation himself, Mr. Jason Smith. What's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man. We're doing great. We're doing really good. And of course, the man of the hour, Mr. Christian Nicorda. What's going on?
I'm dusting myself off. It's been a while.
Yeah, dust
Nice
off that home plate for Friday.
Ooh, yeah. Dodgers, baby. Let's go.
Nice to see you guys. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for being here today. So guys, today's the day that I get to rant about the Terrifier series. I'm so excited. We finally saw part 3, and I'm going to talk all about part 3 and how much I absolutely adored and loved this thing, and why in general Hollywood should be very, very excited about Terrifier 3. It is doing huge things, and there's a big reason for that. And I think it's amazing and it's incredible. Towards the end of the show, we're going to have a fun blind ranking game. I'm going to be playing with these gentlemen. They don't know exactly what it is, but it is going to be horror themed. Have to do a little bit to do with horror icons, but we'll get to that when we do. Horror icons, yeah. Horror icons. That's all I'm saying. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for checking us out as usual. Thank you for your like, subscribe, wherever you're listening, watching. Really, really appreciate it. Share with your friends. And that really, really helps us out a lot. But first, I kind of want to talk about this real fast. So it was announced today that Blade, the MCU Blade, Mahershala Ali, has now been delayed indefinitely. It was supposed to release next year. Instead, in the spot that it was supposed to release, Disney and Fox have announced that they're releasing Predator Badlands in that spot, a new Predator film coming out to theaters. Obviously, the last one, Prey, came out to direct to streaming. And it seems like this version may be dead. Dead in the water. There have been reports since that news came out that Disney is still dedicated to pushing this one forward. But right now, it's just not in the cards. And I have a small theory as to why. Let me know what you guys think about this, because I think a lot of it has to do. I think a lot of it has to do with Wesley Snipes, right? I think that, as we all know, this version of Blade has been through development hell since it was announced. How many years ago? Do you guys remember when it was?
At least like 5 or 6 years ago now.
At least 5 or 6 years ago. Different directors, different writers, different all these things. I honestly feel in my bones that Wesley Snipes, and sorry, this is going to be a spoiler, but whatever, showed up recently in a certain movie. And I do feel like a lot of that was testing the waters to see if there was still love for the character and that version of the character. I think Disney was kind of fed up with trying to make this one work. They want to go back into the well. They want to maybe give Wesley Snipes his swan song and do a farewell version of his version of the character to pass the baton.
We can also try and forget about Trinity.
Well, yeah, but to pass the baton onto the new actor who will be playing Blade in the MCU. That's what I honestly think is going on right now. I think it makes sense. It would be easy for them to bring Snipes back into the fold. They already have an established world and established continuity. They just need to come up with a script and kind of a Logan it, right? Like give him his swan song, give him his final bow, essentially. That's what I think is going on. I don't think we're going to get Mahershala Ali as Blade. I just don't think it's going to happen at all, unfortunately, at this point. I think we're going to cast another young actor after, Wesley Snipes does his last film. And I think it's just going to start a whole new life there. That's what I think is going on. It seems like the easiest way out that Disney's trying to do. It feels like it makes sense. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we're going to get the Mahershala Ali Blade? Do you guys think Disney is trying to correct course and try to do something a little bit, maybe bring Wesley Snipes back into the fold? What do you guys think?
That's kind of what I thought too. Like that was them saying, "Hey, look, Blade," and if you haven't seen that Deadpool movie, that's where you see him, and fans just erupted. That just says, "Hey, there's still a huge fan base for that Blade." So I think the Mahershala one is, like you said, dead in the water.
Yeah, I think they're trying to course correct. What do you think, Christian?
I actually don't think it has that much to do with Wesley Snipes because the problems were there before it played. Or
Well,
before
no, but I'm not saying that Wesley Snipes caused the problems.
but it was like the nail in the coffin. Like
I
Yeah.
feel like
that I can see. Like I think that definitely, I think that joke that he makes, is like, oh, which Punisher was it? There's been like 5 Punishers. There's only one Blade, and there's only going to be one.
Yeah, that little jab.
Yeah, and then Deadpool does the little like Jim Halpert, like he looks at the camera. I think that's a funny joke. I think it was also just like Wesley being Wesley a little bit. But I don't think there's the crazy demand for Wesley Snipes. Like, I mean, sure, I think that's nostalgic, but it's the same thing with like,
right.
Hugh Jackman's a different story because Logan is like one of the greatest superhero movies, and it's relatively recent as opposed to like Eli just said Blade Trinity was like I never even saw that movie.
That was like Attitude Era
I don't
WWE.
I don't think it particularly has to do with the demand of Snipes as much as the reaction to if Disney thinks they can pull it off, right? Like,
and how much money they could make off of it.
Yeah, like fans aren't like clamoring for Wesley Snipes
Right.
to come back as Blade per se, but I think the response to him returning was good enough that they were like, okay, maybe we can make this work and we can do something with this.
And I see that. I feel like they're making like desperate moves right now with like just going back to like Downey Jr. as Doom, and then bringing back the Russo brothers. It's like going back to the stuff that they knew was going to do well before. And initially those fan reactions are still like it was a well-received thing. So I don't know. I think the more exciting news about this to me is the Predator Badlands thing. I like way more excited about that than I am about a Blade movie anyway. So
the only thing Blade related that I'm looking forward to or excited for is that Blade game that was announced last Game Awards.
Yeah, the Blade game by this isn't it by the same ones who did the Wolverine?
Yeah,
who are doing the Wolverine game, which is
Insomniac.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't remember exactly. Let me double check that.
I love with the superhero video games. I mean, like we're at the point now where all the video games that I love and I just assume everybody plays. I'm like too old. Like I make a lot of references, especially to like Assassin's Creed. And when I talk about art history and I'm talking about the Italian Renaissance, I make a lot of Assassin's Creed 2 jokes. And like I'm now at the point where none of my students have played the game. So like I love like the Arkham games. I think are still some of the best like superhero video games. The new Spider-Man series I think is fantastic. Anything Insomniac does I think is like I just wish that they were kind of in control of all the Marvel
it's being developed by Arcane Leon and is being published by Bethesda Softworks.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I mean I'd like to think that Wolverine thing looks really good. If they're gonna do Blade 2, I think that's awesome. Also I don't know if you guys heard, but what's his name? Oh my god. He played Lord of the Rings. He was the main guy.
Elijah
Wood.
Yeah.
He's playing. He's going to be in the new Arkham game.
I heard about that. Yeah, he's doing the capture the mocap for it.
Yeah, he's playing Edward Digba.
For the VR version?
Oh no, he's playing Scarecrow for the VR game. Yeah,
makes sense.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Also, he does not age.
No,
he has not. He has not. He still looks like a baby.
Yes,
I remember him in Sin City.
Coming back to
trying to kill
again.
You need to speak up a little bit.
My favorite voice actor is coming back to voice Batsy since Origins. Roger Craig Smith.
Cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Cool. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, who else is gonna voice him? With Conroy gone, and fans received it well enough with Origins.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that casting. I think he did great in Origins.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few people that do Batman that I like. I also, every name is escaping me right now. But yeah,
animated universe Batman wasn't Conroy, but it was still a very good performance.
Oh my god, he does the Joker sometimes. He did Booker, for Uncharted. What's his name?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I love him so much, and I can't think of his name right now.
Nathan Drake. That's the name of the character.
Yeah.
Can't put a voice to a name, huh?
Nolan North.
Nolan North.
No, not Nolan North. Booker DeWitt was And he was also Joel from Last of Us.
Oh. I was just watching the Last of Us 2 documentary. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. What about him?
I love his
Troy
Batman.
Baker.
Troy Baker, thank you.
Yeah.
Troy Baker also historically is the only person to play Joker and Batman on the same thing, which is really cool. He did
That
he
takes
played both
skill.
Batman and Joker on Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. So that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
Oh, you did that for
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Troy.
I love
Troy.
that one. I love that one. That one was great.
Oh, also speaking of animated DC stuff, I think Kevin, you brought this up, and I hadn't watched it. I binged it like the other day. My Adventures with Superman. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Were you the one telling me about that?
No, I haven't. We haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I
They're just
cried
good.
like a baby. God,
Really? I know. We need to watch it, dude. Like that's been on our list for a long
I think like
time.
that's kind of the energy I want for James Gunn's universe because it's like fun and hopeful and bright.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like this dark, moody thing. It's really nice.
You got those images of Crypto.
Jason O'Mara
Of Crypto the Wonder Dog from
for Batsy and some of the other DC projects that Conroy couldn't do.
Cool. Nice. But yeah, no, I do want to watch My Adventures with Superman. But did you guys see that screenshot of Crypto the Superdog James Gunn released from the movie?
Oh,
like a live action Crypto.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's been blowing up. Go check it out. It's great. It looks cool. Anthony Blanco, nice to see you. We miss you too.
Hey, what's up, Blanco?
It's nice to see you.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really
awesome.
cool.
Perfect.
It looks amazing. So guys, I need to talk about Terrifier 3. I need to get this out of my system. I need to finally be able to talk about it. So I had to get this cup because this cup's amazing. Art the Clown as Santa Claus. Had to get it. Selling it at the theater. It was a good deal. It was a good deal. Anyways, so we recently just got caught up with the Terrifier franchise. Well, you're gonna be waiting a lot longer for the new Blade, Anthony. A lot longer. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, Arturo's here too. What's up, Arturo?
What's going on, man? So we recently caught up with the Terrifier series. The first one came out in 2016, followed up by Terrifier 2. So it took us a while to get to it. I've been wanting to watch it. It's like this character of Art the Clown has kind of permeated pop culture enough to where I knew who he was. I knew what the movies were. I just never got around to watching it. About 3 weeks ago, we finally sat down, buckled down, found them on Amazon Prime, and watched the first two because they were both streaming. So the first two movies are the first one's kind of this really low budget. You can tell it's kind of low budget, really dingy, really gross, really disgusting, really grotesque, really bloody. Everything I love in my mindless horror movies. Like it really nailed it, right? Some of the artistry behind it was incredible. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I hate to use the word fun, but it was fun. It had a good air of fun to it. But the thing about the first one is there's really not a big story. Like the story's not really there. You don't really get a lot of setup to anything.
Much story.
Exactly. You just have Art the Clown kind of going around, killing random people. No story whatsoever, really. Terrifier 2, once they found out that the first one was such a it kind of became this pop culture phenomenon. They made part 2, and they were like, if this is going to be a real thing, we need to add some story to it. So what they did was they added a couple characters besides Art the Clown. They wanted someone who you can root for as opposed to just rooting, quote unquote, rooting for the villain. They wanted someone that you can really connect to and stuff. And that's when they created the character Sienna Shaw, played by Lauren Rivera, who's this wonderful, wonderful actress. She was a stunt woman first. She started out doing, her very first role was actually a stunt double for Anya Taylor-Joy in Split. And then she was doing stuff for, she was in Iron Fist. She was like one of the henchmen. She did a lot of martial arts, she's a martial artist, so she's done a lot of really, really cool stuff in that field. But she takes on the role of Sienna Shaw. She becomes essentially Art's kind of nemesis. She becomes the only person, is kind of prophesized in that story, that she's pretty much the only one who can take Art the Clown down and destroy him in the end. there's a lot of religious imagery in the second one. The second one really goes deep with the mythology and goes into, she essentially it takes place on Halloween night. So her costume for that night is this Valkyrie kind of costume. She has the angel wings and this really cool suit, this really cool outfit.
Yeah.
And essentially, we don't know much about Art the Clown, right? Like we know he's some sort of demon, but we don't really know exactly what he is. I think it's been established that he is a demon.
Yeah, something I like about this series is he isn't just a normal guy like how Michael is.
Exactly.
And, like the mask, quote unquote, gives him some type of powers that keeps him alive.
Right, exactly. Like this one has a lot of mythology to it. There is a massive supernatural element to it. Not to spoil anything, but at the end of the first one, he dies. Definitively dies. But
does he die?
But exactly, but does he die, right? But like something like this makes more sense than like a Michael Myers or something, because there's actually the supernatural element, whereas Michael Myers is supposed to be a normal dude, right? Like he's supposed to be a normal guy, but obviously there's some supernatural element to him, but they don't really dive that much into it in those Halloween movies. This one, they dive into it like head in. They just go for it. Art is a demon. Someone needs to take him down. That's Sienna. Part 2 ends it doesn't really end on a cliffhanger, but there's going to be more.
Yeah.
Like there is kind of a scene where you're like, okay, he's not dead. Spoiler, he dies at the end of part 2, but obviously he comes back again in part 3. Now that brings us to where we're at now. Terrifier 3 started a limited run in theaters, even though it's been out for 2 weeks. This movie has dominated the box office. This weekend, it was knocked down by Smile, but the first weekend it came out. So think about this movie was made for $2 million. No major studio behind it. Wasn't even rated. Didn't go through the MPAA, which is really, really hard to get a movie in theaters that was not rated by the MPAA. They did it. Movie theaters notoriously don't play unrated movies. They took a chance on this because they were like, we need movies. The first 2 were big successes. This could be huge. And the movie knocked Joker out of the #1 spot in its second weekend. Joker came out and went, and nobody gave a crap about that movie. And Art the Clown knocked it out of the #1 spot, making $18 million opening weekend on a $2 million budget. Now the next weekend, second weekend it's out, it's heading up to $40 million now at the box office, which is again $2 million budget, right? No studio behind it, no major studio, a truly independent film is dominating the box office right now, which is insane. And again, unrated indie film, just making money left and right. And again, they've already made like how many times their profit? I don't know. I'm not good at math. They made it for 2 million. It's up to 40 million now. That's a lot of money.
Jesus.
So needless to say, part
20
4,
times their original profit.
20 times the original profit. That's insane. Hollywood is going to take note. They're probably going to get the wrong lessons from it. I hope they don't. But this is massive. And Damien Leone, who is the director of these films, he was talking about after Terrifier 2, how big studios were coming after it. Like big studios wanted Art the Clown. Big studios wanted to make the next Terrifier movie. But he was like, he took meetings and stuff. But again, they're probably going to sanitize it. They're going to make it rated R. They
wanted to do this. They wanted to do that. They
probably
wanted,
cast different actors.
Yeah,
things
they
like
wanted
that.
to make it more accessible to a wider audience.
Exactly. But he kind of refused to do that because if it wasn't for what he made before, the fans wouldn't be there. So he wanted to stick to the same template, right? The same actors, the same, he wanted the same audience. He didn't want to lose what he had, what he created. The audience, he even says, he's like, the people who are talking about this movie are the reason why we make this movie. If it wasn't for them, these movies would not be anything.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the movie a little bit. So Terrifier 3 stars David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. Now this Art the Clown, we are in the midst of we are watching a new horror icon be created, like as we speak, since 2016. Like I said, I hadn't even seen the Terrifier movies yet, but I knew who Art the Clown was. Like you go to Spirit Halloween, he's everywhere. Even last year, the year before, Art the Clown is everywhere. This guy as Art the Clown is an absolute wonderful performance. So the way I describe the Terrifier movies are like live action horror Looney Tune cartoons. It's over the top, it's silly, it's goofy, but of course these the horror, so it's like the blood is over the top, the
He's
gore
like
is
the
over the
Jim
top.
Carrey of horror.
He's like the Jim Carrey of horror. He truly, truly is. And he doesn't speak at all. Like that's
Nope.
the thing about his performance that is so wonderful. He's not like Pennywise where he's making wisecracks. He's not like Freddy where he's making jokes. He makes jokes, but it's all quiet, like eerie, kind of weird.
Yeah, like a mime does.
Like a mime.
Yeah, like a mime. Yes.
Like, I can't help but absolutely love it every time he does it. Like it just cracks me. Art's a funny guy. Like that's the thing about these movies.
Time that you hear anything from him is from a anchor being of sorts, like not from his mouth at all, but from another person's mouth, but his words.
Yeah, so you have they set up the mythology where he needs an anchor being to survive. So his words come through his anchor being. In the second movie, it was like this creepy little girl. She was only like 11 years old or something. And the second one that kind of transfers to a new body. But anyways, his performance is so good, and these movies are very over the top, bloody, gory, whatever, tons of nudity, whatever. Like it's these are the kind of horror movies that you just go turn off your brain and just don't worry about the plot, right? Like you're not watching these movies for the plot, right? The plot is good. They've set up this really, really interesting and cool mythology that I really, really love. And it even follows through in the third one, where Sienna is still kind of the person who's supposed to take down Art the Clown. But now she's kind of suffering from PTSD from what happened in the second one. So it's a really kind of interesting look at trauma and stuff too, and how something like this, going through something like this can really, really affect you. One thing that I really, really appreciate about Terrifier 3 specifically is it does this thing where it sets up the mythology in a cool way, but like Art the Clown himself isn't really pulled into that mythology, right? Like he's not bound by any rules whatsoever. So he's not like a Freddy where like they figure out if you're, how to trap him in Dream World, things like that. There are certain rules
not like
he has to go by.
It's not like a Jason Voorhees where they figure out that he doesn't like water.
Yeah, exactly. Like this guy is off doing his own thing, creating his own chaos, doing his own murder spree while they're trying to figure out the plot, the mythology, and everything over here. And it works well that way because Art's able to do his own thing, and then the story is able to move forward, and you're learning more about Art as that movie's moving forward. A lot of people are going to say these movies are very trashy.
They don't like the brutality of it, huh?
Oh, they are brutal. Like I will say this: do not go into Terrifier 3 blind. Watch at least part 2, and if you can handle part 2, if your stomach can handle part 2, you will be fine. If you do not like Terrifier 1 or 2, you will absolutely despise this movie. It is probably the most the highest, at what it's doing. And it's the highest amount of gore, highest amount of just chaos that they've had. But if you like Terrifier 1 and 2, you will absolutely love Terrifier 3. I have been in like Terrifier zone the past 2 to 3 weeks, and I absolutely love it. I love the stories. I love the artistry behind it all. Like the kills, yes, they are brutal and they are disgusting and they are gross, but it's all practical effects.
Yeah, somebody has to make them. I love that.
The only CGI there was in this movie was the eyes. Remember towards the end where they had the eyes and the lightning thing, whatever. That's it. Everything else is done practically. So it's practical. Like when he's sawing someone in half,
dude.
Like
that sawing scene on part 1.
Oh yeah,
I was watching it with some chicks. They literally cringed when that chick's upside down.
Yeah, dude. If you don't cringe a little bit at that scene, you got a problem. But I thought it was freaking amazing.
And the way he sawed it slow, like
and it wasn't. Listen, it wasn't the brutality of it or the violence of it that I loved. I was watching it like how that's somebody built that, like somebody made that. And I think I'm so like kind of in I've seen so many horror movies or anything that I'm kind of numb to that aspect of it now, where like I cannot handle real life gore, anything blood, anything like disgusting. Like if I cut myself, if I see blood, I like almost pass out. I absolutely despise it. But I will watch the screen get covered in blood in a movie because my brain has already taught me that that's fake. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I'm
maybe
at.
that's what it is for me. Maybe it's like because I'm not into it, like the gory horror movies. And I think it's because I see too much in real life that I'm cool. I'm good. Like I see my own blood way more than any one person should see their own blood. Like a lot of it. Like today, I get like every other day I get to see it, and it's
kind
not
of
fun.
Daily basis, pretty much for you, huh?
Yeah, just if this might be too much information. I bled all over myself last week at dialysis, so that was fun. It was just like, oh, look at this. That's what was wet.
Oh man, that sucks.
Blood.
But yeah, I mean, these movies are covered in blood. And have you seen the second one yet, Jason?
Part of it. I only got through like the first few minutes, and then I had to go somewhere. So
the second one to me is still my favorite. The second one really did some really, really cool things. I think second one's long. The second one is 2.5 hours long, but they do justify their length, and they do justify the why it needs to be that long. Like it makes sense. And it flies by pretty good. There's a song that's from that one, the Clown Cafe song, still stuck in my head every single day. It's just so that's what the shirt is. It's a Clown Cafe shirt.
It's like eerily like familiar, yet also eerily creepy.
Exactly. And of course, this movie takes place around Christmas time. So it's a fun family movie for the holidays. So definitely take your kids to go see it.
It's the new Nightmare Before Christmas.
It is the new Nightmare Before Christmas.
We're getting holidays together.
Did you guys ever watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hey,
yeah.
It's the Kyoto brothers, man. I've seen like a lot of those puppets up close. So yeah, the Kyotos, who also did Team America, the puppets were Team America.
Yes.
I was sculpting out of their studio a lot when I was working at the toy company. Crazy. The live action Ninja Turtles TV show.
Mona Lisa or
Venus. There was Venus's costume was like on top of theirs. It's so funny.
Nice.
It's so ridiculous.
So cool.
I do have I come from fabrication. I love it all. I know like how much work it goes into it, which is also why I can't enjoy like Not Scary Farm or like I just because it's like I think for the same reasons that you appreciate like all the gore stuff is why I can't enjoy it because it's like it's Phil. That's Jerry. They're like they're smoking cigarettes on their break and now they're like. Bleh. Like I think I might have mentioned the story the first time like Dana and I were first dating. She has a friend who's been doing makeup for like over 20 years. The last like Not Scary Farm, all of like the haunts. And we went to Not Scary Farm on like our second date, and we found Christy, and she was like, "Oh my god, I just started like Robert's here. You should meet him." She's like, "Let's go find him." And like she's like, "There he is," and he's like, and then she's like, "Hey, it's Dana," and he's like, "Oh hey, how are you guys doing?" Like totally broke character, and like we were just talking to him normal, and like we introduced, and he's like, "Okay, well I gotta get back, guys." And we're like, "Dude, it's a pleasure meeting." He's like, "Thanks." And, like it was so cool, but it's the same thing. I can't like.
That reminds me of there was a Comic-Con like 5 or 6 years ago. They used to have that Walking Dead experience like at Petco Park. Well, they let us do that for free as press, and then like Nolan's like, "You can go through it. I don't want to go through that. It's a lot of climbing." And the group I was with, they're like, "Stay in your group." And then there's like people in character, but then they branch us to this narrow part, and those other people in the group were kind of like going down the stadium seats because they see this zombie go. Ugh. I was like, screw this. I started rushing at him like a fucking linebacker, and the zombie started laughing and moved out of the way.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But it is like, like that scene you guys were talking about where they like saw her in half, like that. I know that was like months of work on that thing, and I like how many takes did they really get? Because like, how many props did they make? How many of those figures did they make? So like, it's a lot of work, like really hard ingenuity and on a small budget. Like absolutely 100% Hollywood should be paying attention because
they really should be. And I think I hope this movie opens a lot of doors, and I think it's going to inspire a lot of people to just go out there and make their stuff. Like, I think the movies like this are going to show, no matter how. I think again there's this particular kind of stereotype when it comes to movies like this, right? People don't take it seriously because it's a horror movie or because it's whatever. I've already seen it kind of happen online. Like people are like, well, like it's great that this movie's dominated, but it should have been a different movie that did this, right? It should have been a different movie that's breaking all these records. It's like,
But it wasn't.
what does it matter? Like this,
Yeah, exactly.
like
People
who
are never
cares what
happy.
movie it is? Like it's doing its thing, and this whole franchise in general, I really, really appreciate when movies know what they are, right? Like when movies, this isn't trying to be like an A24, like, high elevated horror, right? It's not supposed to be like that. They know exactly what they're aiming for. They know exactly the goals are. They know exactly what their audience is looking for. And they cater to that. They're like, this is the movie I want to make. Like, if you don't want to be there, that's fine. And even in interviews, he's like, yeah, if the movie's not for you, great. That's totally cool. But like, it is for these people. So like, it's totally cool. Like you don't have to like it, and that's your thing. And we make movies for very specific people, and everyone does that, right? Everyone makes movies for specific audiences, whatever.
And that's unfair to not, hold it up to the same level because it's horror, right? Like same thing with comedy. Like people can't appreciate it on this like higher level because it's not
so dumb.
the genre. That's stupid. It's still like takes genius to make this stuff, and there's still a huge audience for this stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a bummer, but that's that's awesome that there's dedicated groups of people making these films. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. So just kind of close out with this conversation. I think that Terrifier 3, you like the first two, go. It's definitely worth checking out. You'll love it. If not, maybe don't go watch it, or maybe don't check it out. I think it's ending. I don't know when it's coming out of theaters. Apparently, I was talking to the theater manager over here, and he was saying it was only supposed to be out for a week, but since it did so well, they expanded it. And I've been reading some stuff online about how some marketing people from Bloody Disgusting, who is one of the studios that's helping them get into theaters, was talking about how if the film does well, it's going to extend up past Halloween. And then they did hints that they have something special coming for Christmas too. So
it made it big when Cinemark has Art the Clown popcorn bucket.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Yeah, they have the popcorn bucket. They have this cup. Like honestly, no joke, I was really surprised to see this cup. I had no idea this existed at Regal. I was at Regal, and like they just were selling this cup. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you made it when you have a popcorn bucket or a cup. Like that's insane to me.
Not to change the subject, but just to on the whole like marketing popcorn buckets. I don't know if you guys saw the Gladiator 2.
Yes.
How many people are buying that because they're not Gladiator fans but MF Doom fans? Like I don't know, man. Like that's so awesome. Anyway, I'm really excited. It's probably getting really good reviews too, so I'm kind of excited.
I know. I'm actually really excited for Gladiator 2. I think it's going to be great. So yeah, definitely go check it out if you guys get a chance, and if you want to see some bloody, gory
popcorn head buckets?
Popcorn head buckets, yeah.
Those are cool.
Oh, well, very cool. What's up?
Like we got Venom, we got Art the Clown, we got the Sandworm from Dune. We got
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. So Christian, you had mentioned you want to talk about some action figures real quick.
I did. So these little babies came in finally. I pre-ordered these. You pre-order stuff and you kind of forget that these come in. So if you're Marvel Legend collectors, these guys are shipping. I've seen everywhere on Instagram. Everybody was receiving them yesterday and today. So if you pre-ordered them, they should be coming soon. I didn't get the other one, the Deadpool. So I, also rewatched the movie last night for the first time since I saw it in theaters. Mm-hmm. I think I'm just in a weird place emotionally because I cried like a baby. I don't know why that hit me so hard. That was weird, man. But yeah, it's cool. It's still like I don't think it's my favorite Deadpool movie. It's just a lot of fun.
It's not mine. It's a
fun movie. Yeah, I don't want to think too hard about it. But yeah, no, there's that. I feel like there was something else, but no, that's all I can think of at the moment. But yeah, cool. If you get those on pre-order, check it out.
Now, does that Wolverine come with the masthead? I forget.
It does, but this okay. I want my review for this is straight out of the movie. The head sculpt for this fucks so hard. Dude, this is maybe the best Marvel Legend head sculpt I've ever seen. This does not do it justice. Like anything that Hasbro's done on their like Star Wars front, like on their G.I. Joe front, like it might be this Hugh Jackman head. It's just like you could take this off and put it on any of the old ones, and it just like makes it so much better. I put it on the old like wife beater one, and man, that is just it's like perfect. It's worth just to get a couple of these for those heads.
Dude, Marvel Legends have like really stepped up their game, I think, in like the past
Few years.
Yeah.
Hasbro altogether, even like like a lot of their Black Series stuff is like I've been picking up a lot of. I just got like what's his name? What's the blue face guy? I can't. Eli, help me out. Thrawn.
Oh,
I
Thrawn.
just got
Thrawn.
You should know that out of everybody.
Listen, there's a lot of people in Star Wars.
I thought it was an
blue
avatar.
faces.
of all my action figures, I only have one blue-faced Star Wars figure, and it's Thrawn. I'm like looking right now. And then I also got what's his name? Captain Enoch, the two-pack with the undead. That thing is, I just love the design of that. So I don't know. And I'm like in droid mode right now too, so any droid thing I'm picking up.
I need that Darth Sidious that's hitting right now. The episode 3 one.
It's at if you go to Downtown Disney, they have it at the Outpost.
I'm hoping they make the pre-Emperor one, like the "Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?"
Oh
like,
yeah,
when he was still like not all burnt up, and he just like took out 4 Jedis.
yeah, right before they do have the
that scene. I read the novel before the movie, and that scene I expected way more out of the movie. I'm like, and it just happened so quick. I'm like. In the novel, he cuts like one of their heads off and like sticks the lightsaber through the other one's head, and like the way it describes it, it's like you could see light shining from the other side of his head. I was like, "Damn!" And then it cuts to
because you can do a lot more with the novels than you could the movies, especially to keep that rating.
PG-13, yeah, it wasn't, especially the part with the kids. The Master Skywalker, the too many of them. In the book, he puts the lightsaber under the kid's chin and. So a streak of blue light runs through, and I was like, I knew that wasn't going to be in there.
Damn, Annie, little Annie,
it's brutal. Like that chapter was called Apocalypse. Like that literally like gave me nightmares when I read it because the whole it started with the Palpatine thing, and like, damn,
oh man, yeah. I can talk about Star Wars too much, so I don't want to get too far into it. But yeah, I mentioned before I rewatched the last season of Clone Wars again, and I can't get through that without getting emotional. Mm-hmm. Those last 4 episodes are just like the best of Star Wars. I
love Star Wars.
All right, my man Jesse.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, God. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. What else have we got on the docket?
Are you guys ready for a blind ranking game?
Let's do it.
We're doing a blind ranking, y'all. So let me set this up for you guys. Let's talk about the story, what the story is, and why you guys have to rank what you guys are ranking. So y'all, it's finally happened. I'm sorry, I apologize, but you no longer have a roommate, right? Your roommate has disappeared. Your roommate.
Oh no!
I know. In other words, your roommate this whole time was the Miles County Clown, otherwise known as Art the Clown. Now he's on the run from you and the police and everything. He might be dead. Who knows? Who knows where he is?
This feels very D&D. I'm loving this already.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, you need to pay bills. You need to pay rent, right? Like renting that underground dwelling underneath the haunted asylum seemed like a good deal at the time.
I hate this game already.
But now you're trying to figure out, well, you got bills to pay, you got to do these things. So you decide you're going to you put an ad on Craigslist looking for a new roommate, and you get some replies, but you're not sure who to pick. Rent's due in a week, y'all. Rent's due in 1 week.
Pick somebody.
You need to rank these 5 applicants from the worst person to live with to the best person, who your favorite person would be to live with, right? Now, these all aren't ideal candidates, but you got to figure out something because, otherwise.
I got a question.
What?
Do we get to move our placements after we place them?
No, after you place them, so you do not know who they are. Obviously, so for those of you who are not familiar with the blind ranking, not necessarily you guys, but anyone who's watching, basically what it is, let me go ahead and get my little thing here.
Are we doing a tier list?
No, it's going to be, It's my Google Doc that I just made for the show. There you go.
There we go. Cool.
All right, guys. So a blind ranking, basically, I'm going to throw out a name of an horror icon. It could be good, could be bad. Remember, one could be worse than the next. You never know where you're going to land, right?
So
You're going to rank these characters from. So the number one spot is going to be the one that you're ending up living with. Number one is going to be the person you're going to have to live with for the rest of your
So
days.
5 would be the least likely person you want to live with. 1 is the person you would choose.
Exactly. So in other words, 5 is the absolute scariest to you. 1 is tolerable, and you'll be able to handle them, right? And remember, this person, might be there when you take your last breath because they might be over you.
If my list, if you're going horror icons, I already know who I want to live with.
Well, it's going to be. You never know.
You never know.
he already has a pre-selected list.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go down. So there's 5 applicants, and you all have to blind rank them as we go down. Are you all ready to blind rank who is going to be your next roommate? All right, so we are going to start. We're going to start pretty obvious here. We're going to start easy. We're going to start with the one and only, the Leprechaun from the Leprechaun films. Okay, now where would you rank this character on your ranking if you had to pick from 1 to 5? Now remember, the next person is going to be worse, better, or just as horrible.
So are we going to go down the list, or how are we going to do this?
Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. I think the smart thing to do on the first one is always go right in the middle. So I'm going to put a Leprechaun at 3.
Damn you. I was going to do that.
You can still do that. We can, just because I ordered that on the
Yeah,
menu.
no, you can
on
do
the
it
menu.
too.
Yeah,
Leprechaun?
can I do that too?
Yep.
Mostly because it's safe, and because if I really need money that badly.
Oh, that's true, right?
Yeah.
Because he can hook you up, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Jason, what about you?
I'm going to go ahead and put him at number 4.
Number 4. Okay. All right. So we got this already started. We got it going. All right. So next on the list, we are going to go with, Jason Voorhees.
Oh.
He's just kind of he's kind of quiet, sticks to himself, but he might also slit your throat while you're sleeping. But who knows? Where do you guys want to place him on the list?
I'm going to put him at 4 because
put him
I
at
don't know
4?
if there's worse, but at the same time, that's Christian.
Oh yeah, sorry.
But at the same time, I'm a teenager. I'm his number 1 target.
That is true. That is very true. You guys,
I'm going to put him at number 1.
number 1.
Yeah, he has a cool name, and then
Oh, well, that makes sense for you.
well, then plus, I mean, he's more than likely to kill me. Then I won't have to worry about the rent.
That is that's
Win-win.
theoretically though. You don't want to die.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's going to
I
straight
mean-
up kill me. He's not going to torture me before,
That's
right?
true. That is very true. That
Yeah.
is very true. That is very true. What
I'm
about
gonna
you,
put him
Christian?
at number 2. I'm pretty easy to get along. I think he'd like me. I think we'd get along. I think I could help him find some victims.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I'd be an accessory.
Yeah, Jason Smith
I mean,
lives
he does
upstairs.
need an extrovert to do that for him.
Yeah. So
All right. Next person on the list. Again, we're going to go with another classic horror icon. We're going to go with Freddy Krueger.
there it is. That's my number 1. My number 1 easily. I don't sleep. You can't fuck with me. I have insomnia. So good luck, Freddy. Cool. Easy.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. Because again, I may be one of his number 1 victims to go after, but also give me a couple energy drinks.
I'm going to put him at number 5.
Number 5.
Because, yeah, just because that motherfucker is going to torture me a lot more than that leprechaun would.
Yeah, no.
I figure I'm not
absolutely.
walking out of this no matter who it is, so I might as well be quick
Yeah.
and to the point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
I
you
mean,
got
Freddy's gonna mess with you if he does try and kill you, though.
that is very true. That is very
Yeah.
true. So yeah. So
He also
All
has
right,
to wait
guys.
till I fall asleep. So joke's on him. Joke's on you, buddy.
joke is on him. So let's go with an easy one here. Not an easy one,
Mhm.
but let's go with. We're gonna go with her screams might keep you up at night, but she's just looking for her children. Let's talk about La Llorona.
5.
Number
5.
5.
Yep, same. I can't. That too much for me. Absolute 5.
Yeah, and she's
I
number
am not
3 for me.
messing with any kind of Latino, Mexican horror, anything. I'm not messing with them.
And Jason, where you at?
Number 4 for me. Or three,
Yeah,
three.
number four.
Number 3, yeah. It's far away from them because I mean, at the same time, I'm a Catholic, so I got rosaries and stuff. So she's not, but I don't want to hear her either. You know.
You're more safe than I am because I am a child still.
That is true.
For a few more months there, buddy.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I think Eli is getting the best deal out of this whole thing. Okay.
Why do you say
So
that?
let's see. So far we got Eli has his number 1 spot open. We got Freddie, Leprechaun, Jason on his running his 4. Christian, you have your number 1 spot. We have Freddie, Jason, Leprechaun. You have your 4 spot open with La Llorona at number 5, which would also be my choice. Jason number 1. Number 2 is Blank, La Llorona, Leprechaun, and Freddy Krueger.
Mhm.
I say that because the next person on the list is, again, these are horror icons, not
Mhm.
necessarily villains. I'm talking about Elvira, Mistress of the
Hell
Dark.
yeah.
Oh,
Eli,
Damn.
well played. Very nice. Yeah.
well, if Jason doesn't kill me, then I'll be in heaven.
Exactly.
She has recently been in the news. I keep seeing her name pop up with Ariana Grande, and I think Ariana said something about her. And she had to apologize. I'm not quite sure.
So there was a story that Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, she was at a Comic-Con, I think it was WonderCon, I think, right this weekend. And she told a story about how Ariana Grande came to see her at a show. She brought her posse or whatever. She came to see them. She was so excited to meet them. So they came backstage to meet Elvira. And Elvira asked if she can take a picture, if she could take a picture of her and Ariana. And apparently Ariana refused and said she does not take pictures. So apparently it came off a little snooty, and Elvira was telling that story, and then that made the news. And then Ariana came back and was like, I don't know. I didn't hear her. I didn't read. I saw that she had like come out with a statement or something apologizing or whatever, or something had happened. But yeah, that was kind of the gist of the whole thing. So I don't know exactly what happened. But anyways, that's a good list.
Yeah, good list. Congrats, Elijah. You win.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
You're
throughout the
lucky man.
year, I want to
did
do
win.
more of these, not necessarily horror, but things that we can all,
Yeah, that's fun.
all kinds of stuff. So to kind of keep things going. So yeah, you'll have good lists there.
I have the best list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, if you do an Avengers one, I'm leaving number 1 blank in case Black Widow pops up.
Yeah, right.
Scarlett
No,
Johansson.
100%. 100%.
Or Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
My
Scarlet Witch.
1 and 2.
Have you guys? Oh, you guys haven't been Agatha. I know Christian, you haven't been watching it.
I
No,
haven't
I
seen it.
haven't.
It's good. It's good. We need to.
Yeah, we're 1 episode behind right now.
Yeah.
And two or 3 on Donna Dawn. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about Donna. My TA came in and she addressed the class and she's like, "Can we talk about episode 2 of Donna?" She hated that second episode. I don't remember why she hated it so much.
The first episode was wow. We talked. I don't know if you remember us talking about it. We talked about American Nerd.
I want to catch up to the 3rd episode though.
I don't know, man. I feel really uncomfortable watching that show after what I witnessed in the first episode. I don't know.
I know.
man.
I don't. I'm not
I
gonna.
know that first episode is weird as hell, but I've heard and seen that nothing like that ever happens again with that character especially.
I just thought it was bizarre. It is anime though, so anything can happen. You're looking up on Myra.
No, well, yes.
Looking up your
but
roommate.
This is her grandmother.
Oh yeah. You showed me that. You showed me that picture. Oh man. Well, that's cool. Well, anyways, that's our show, everyone. Oh, next week we have a really, really, really cool interview. About last year, I had the opportunity to review this book. It was like I don't know. It's a magazine / book. It's going to come out biannually. It's called Wednesday. It's a horror themed anthology book. It has articles. It has interviews with some of the top names in horror, authors, horror cinema, horror, all this stuff. Anyways, the editor of that magazine, the magazine is called Wednesday Magazine. His name is Kevin Grady. He's actually going to be joining us for a very special interview next week, which is going to be really cool. He's going to be talking about what's next for their books. It comes out bi-yearly, so next year comes a new issue. This thing's massive, though. I'll bring it on when we come on and stuff. It's really, really cool book. Go check it out, by the way. If you all go to Wednesday Magazine, buy it. It's actually really, really fun read. There's a lot of stuff. It's thick. It's big. It's not just a magazine. It doubles as like a coffee table book, and it's coming out, like I said, bi-yearly, so every 2 years. And there's a reason why it comes out every 2 years, because this thing is stacked, like it's packed with stuff. So, anyways, he's going to be on the show, so make sure to tune in next week at 7:00. We're going to have a really fun conversation with him. So that'd be really cool. It's perfect timing for Halloween too, because he's a big horror person. So it's just next week's Halloween already. Do you guys have any plans for Halloween?
I seen Blanco just commented, are we getting costume reveals from you guys soon? I don't know. I haven't
Every year, I'm the only one who goes all the way. So no, I'm not gonna do it again this year. I keep doing this and I go nowhere. I did full on dress up last year, and then after the stream, I just went back to my PJs. So no, I'm not gonna.
What did I do last year? I forgot what I did.
I think was that the year you had the luchador mask?
It might have been last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So unless I have a place to go, I'm not gonna dress up. My plan was to do Rufio, but that's not. I might do something, but it's too late for me to get the costume together.
You know what I told myself I'm going to do? Most likely I'm leaning towards not doing anything this year, but the plan is, it's been my dream since like 2014 was to have a super villains themed Halloween party, because I was working part-time at a Halloween store back then, and you know how they sell those like foam rubber like severed heads? Well, I was just messing around. Yeah, I put a Captain America mask on one and a Batman mask, and then some guy's like, "Well, how much are those?" And I was like, "Well, you got to buy each separately." He's like, "Done." And he bought, and I was like, and that just went on in my head that I should have a villains themed party with like severed superhero heads and shit hanging all over. And if you come dressed as like a superhero, you got to drink like a double shot of like Everclear or something.
If anybody's looking for a good idea that doesn't want to get so crazy, these are paintings that I've wanted to do for the last like 20 years, and I never did them. When you come up with an idea, you got to do it, or somebody else is going to do it. You put your idea in the universe. I've already seen somebody else do it. Here's my thing: superheroes run around all day wearing masks, right? In the sun, when they have like hands of their mask on their face, I think that's absolutely hilarious. So do like a superhero tan line on your face. You're welcome.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Like a regular guy, but with like the tan line.
But like the mouth part, it's like a slightly darker, and then around your eyes is slightly darker. I think that's.
I'll just wear that luchador mask to the beach, and then like stay there all day in the middle of summer.
There you go. Yeah. So I think here's what I think we should do. I think we should start planning now for next year. I'm not even joking, right? Like we're gonna make a big event out of Halloween next year. But not just Pastrami Nation, but in general. We're gonna go down there for Halloween next year.
We should do. It's got to be a group thing. It all has to be from the same thing. Here, okay. Yeah. I'm putting an idea right now. We're the bad guys from Back to the Future 2.
I love it. I love it.
I'll be Jason Scott Lee. Unless you have power. And then Jason, you could be Biff.
Yes,
right? We'll all play. Yeah, we'll figure this out. I think that's
dude. I'm down with that.
We can fabricate hoverboards. I think that's so cool to walk around with hoverboards.
Let's do it. We got to do like horror nights or something. So you got. I'm so excited.
Like the whole week of Halloween's got to be like
Yeah,
we could do it. I think that'd be fun.
I miss those days.
We'll all be Lost Boys from Hook. I'm still
down.
Well, I think you meant like Lost Boys from like they're just
Lost Boys. Yeah, we can do that.
Just noodles.
Yeah, I can get a trench coat and like spike my hair.
Or DC villains.
Ooh.
Yeah, DC villains would be fun. DC villains would be really fun. But we'll see what happens. But hey.
I'm going to be Harley Quinn. Nobody's ever been Harley Quinn.
No one ever.
Or Deadpool.
Anyway, thank you guys all for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it. We had a blast. And again, if you get a chance, go watch Terrifier 3. Highly, highly recommend it if you like the first two. If you want to see some good kills and some gory stuff. If you want to see chainsaws going in places that chainsaws shouldn't go. You're gonna have a good time.
Yes,
you're gonna have a good time. The shower scene. There's a bunch of stuff. I don't want to ruin it or spoil it for any of you guys. So, anyways, thank you all for joining us. Where can they find you all online, Christian? Where can they find you?
Same places, but this weekend is Lightbox Expo. If you're in the SoCal area, if you're in Pasadena, hit up Lightbox Expo. Hit me up. I'll be there. You can meet me in person, and then we can say what's up. Also, I think we have like a mixer thing for Brainstorm School. Check out our socials. You can check out We Are Brainstorm School On Instagram, I'm sure there's flyers for that too. That's happening Thursday night. I'll be there like after 9 p.m. or so, and you can come draw with me. You can
That's
come
awesome.
draw Sana. She's like my favorite person to draw, so that'll be fun. But yeah,
Cool.
Sweet. That's Pasadena, right? Yeah.
yeah.
That came quick.
Also, let's go Dodgers, man! Game 1 on Friday. So
Friday.
yeah,
Time
Yeah.
flies.
heck yeah, man! God dang, I can't wait.
You can find me at Kevin Hoskinson, Kevin_Hoskinson on all the socials and all that fun stuff. And Jason, where can they find you?
You can probably find me at the liquor store right now because I just realized I'm out of beers.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. You can find Eli at McDonald's.
The Shadow Well, more likely.
Yeah, whatever.
Or the streets of Night City. Hire me for a gig. I need the
Yeah, that's true. All right, y'all. Thank you all for joining us and have a good night. Take care of yourselves.
Take care, guys.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.